Okay, so now we're up to step 4, defining the problem. To get you to this stage, what you've done is you have kept a pain journal, and from that pain journal you've identified, using a pain versus frequency matrix, which particular problems that you've noticed are affecting the most people most of the time. And you've identified 3 of those, and you've recorded them in your learning journal under the Finding the Problems That Matter stage. If you haven't done any of those steps, you need to go back, watch the videos on Finding Problems That Matter, and ensure that that page is completed. Now that that's all complete, you're ready to move on to defining the problem. Defining the problem is a critical stage in the design process because it makes sure that we know exactly how that problem is affecting the customer and their thinking behind the problem. Often as we go through this process, we'll uncover a deeper problem which is slightly different to the one we started off with. You've already done this process through the redesigning the gift giving activity. And if you need a refresher on that, just go back to our class website and have a look at the design challenge. Remember, the resources on there you can use for this part. They talk you through everything that you need to know. And even more so, there's the crash course video, which takes you through a video of exactly what you need to do, handouts that you can print off and use, and I've even put up the teacher's notes so that you can help with writing your revision. In my learning journal, what I've done is I've summarised all of that information into 4 key steps that you have to do in order to complete this task. So, you've got your 3 problems. Step 1, you need to interview your customer in order to empathise with exactly how that problem is affecting them. To support you guys with this, what I've done is I've created a handout which you can print out or work on electronically. And we're just going to blow this up by clicking on the pop-out button so that we can see it in a bit more detail. So, listing your 3 ideas from the Storm board that you each think could or should be better. 1, 2, 3, there's space for a couple more if you need. Does the problem you're solving occur often? Give it a number score. How many people face this problem? Give it a number score. And how painful is this problem? Give it a number score. Then you total up all of the scores and you'll identify which problems are most worth solving. This is a slightly different way of identifying the problem that's worth solving to the pain versus frequency chart. And it'll be interesting to read your reflections on which one you think is most effective. Step 2, if we head back to the learning journal. Step 1 is interview your customer and empathise. This is something that some people struggle with as part of the gift giving process. So what I've done is I've tried to put a different template up. So as you're interviewing your person around the pain point that they've felt, maybe it's the bus not coming on time, maybe it's forgetting things before school, maybe it's not being able to keep track of homework across Daymap, Google Classroom, and the myriad of other systems that we use at the school. As you're interviewing the person, remember, we don't care so much about the problem, but rather how the problem impacts on the person. So you may want to try and use some of the prompts on this page. So what does he think and feel? What do they hear? What do they see? And what do they say or do about their problem? And what we're looking for here is insights from you as the interviewer on their fears, frustrations, and obstacles, or their goals, wants, and needs. You need to complete one of these interviews for each of the 3 problems on your first page.